What up, Sean?
Scott, another good night of fights, a great performance in the main event by Yaroslav Amosov. Can you sum it up for us?
Boy, I tell you, he looked like a guy that has been not in a war zone fighting. He looked like a guy that's been training for the last 5 years and didn't miss a beat. I know he's been training for about 6 months and getting ready for this particular fight, but it was impressive. I think that the biggest part that I think Logan had a hard time with was just his movement in and out, sideways, sideways. I think Logan had a hard time tracking him down. He started eating some shots, working the leg kick. I think it was a really a master performance by Amosov.
We talked to Michael Page earlier tonight. He's obviously fighting Yamauchi coming up, but he was kind of saying he probably doesn't expect to fight for the title next. It looks like it's going to be Jason Jackson. He more than deserves it, obviously. Is he going to be the next guy?
Yeah, the next fight, we're waiting to see what happened with this fight, but Jackson's been in the line from the queue for a while, and I think he definitely deserves it. So, we're going to go back and talk about it, but that's, to me, it's probably the next fighter that's going to get the shot.
Jeremy Kennedy was just here before you speaking, and he's talking about Patricio avoiding him and not taking that fight. Is that the next fight also that's going to be made?
I'll tell you, it's really interesting. I mean, to me, I think of Kennedy, who's a great, super talented kid, but I think about maybe he should run it back with Pico. That's a fight I'd be very interested to see. I can think of 2 or 3 other guys, but everybody wants Pitbull, but we'll see. I mean, we have to talk to Pitbull, see if he's interested in the fight. But as this kid just keeps winning and winning, that's what you got to do. You keep winning, you're going to get your shot eventually.
I suppose the 3 biggest receptions of the night were for Pedro Carvalho, Peter Queally, and then Brian Moore, who had a good win on the undercard. Mm-hmm. Brian Moore, and he was the only one who got the win as well out of those 3. Mm-hmm. Next, he called out Higo again. He wants that fight. The last time you agreed to it. Is that a fight that's going to happen next? And are you going to push Brian Moore up the card a bit?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he definitely deserves it. And, we'll talk to Higo because it takes 2 to make the fight, right? So we'll see if there's interest on that side, and we'd love to put it together. I mean, Higo was going to fight, I think, James Gallagher soon, and James got injured, couldn't do the fight. But to me, that fight would be amazing. It'd be a lot of fun to watch.
The last time we were here, Sinead Kavanagh beat Leah McCourt, and you announced that she'd be fighting Chris Cyborg next. Mm-hmm. She's won again here tonight. Is she next in line? Is it going to be Leah versus Ngannou, or what's your thinking on that one?
Yeah, listen, Kat is going to fight with Leah in end of March, so we got to wait another month. But, I think that fight will have title implications for sure. And with Kavanagh, she looked great. It's just the issue was, I don't know how much damage she took on her legs. She looked like she was injured a little bit, so we'll have to monitor that. And once we see if she's clear, then we'll figure it out.
Just last 2 quick ones for me. Do you have the attendance figures for tonight? It looked a little bit down on previous ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm happy with it. And this crowd is the best crowd in MMA. They were passionate, they're loud, they're singing. And to me, it felt great to be in this building again.
You've announced the date of September 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, for the next card. Mm-hmm. What do you envisage for that one? Because for the last maybe 5 years or so, it's been Bellator and nothing but Bellator in this arena. Now we have 2 Cage Warriors cards coming up. We have a PFL card coming up as well. The more competition that comes here, is that an issue for Bellator, or is it something that you're going to make you bring it?
Listen, we're doing our thing. We have a great, successful track record here. I say good luck to the other companies, and let's see how you perform.
Carl Moore is another one who had a good performance tonight, and another person who was promised a ranked opponent in his next fight. Is he somebody who you could see as well getting a ranked opponent in his next one?
Yeah, like I said, anytime we have a fight like this and a fight card like this, we always like to go back home, reshuffle the deck. But I definitely think that he deserves to move up in the competition. But how far, we'll see. There's a lot happens into making these fights. It's not just like, hey, I wanted to fight this guy and then it happens. We talk to our internal team. We talk about the matchmaking team. We talk to both sides of the equation. Both have managers, and then we'll put something together for them.
Bellator have been putting on some amazing cards lately.
Unbelievable.
There's 2 huge free agents on the market at the moment in Nate Diaz, who said some very complimentary things about you, and Francis Ngannou. Is there any discussions going on to get these kind of 2 game-changing to make?
Yeah, listen, both those guys we're in dialogue with both of them, and so I think that Steven from Showtime on the boxing side, president of sports, had a conversation with Francis the other day when I was traveling, and basically said, look, this is a great opportunity because you're on the boxing side. You have Showtime pay-per-view. We have all the biggest fights. They just announced the Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis fight. So the big fights happen on Showtime pay-per-view. So if they could offer him the boxing and then we could offer him MMA, I think would be a great home for Francis. Nate Diaz, whenever he's ready and he really wants to fight again, because I think it's really, we're just waiting to see what he wants to do. We'd love to be in that mix. So it's just going to be a matter of time, I think.
And finally, for me, you gave Dillon Danis permission to have the KSI fight, which didn't go through. Has there been any discussions with him about having a fight? And at a certain point, do you think it's kind of damaging the Bellator brand being associated with him?
Dillon?
With Dillon Danis.
Yeah. Listen, that's a tough one because we had such high hopes for that kid, and I think that we're gonna have to have a serious conversation with him when I get back.
Scott, congratulations on a beautiful night of fights. It's an honor to meet you for the first time in person, and you're about to kick off the lightweight tournament next month. How excited are you about that?
Listen, I think that Chael said it best at the press conference in Los Angeles. This is not, because I thought, this is probably one of the best lightweight tournaments in the history of the sport, right? Chael said, no, you're wrong. This is one of the best tournaments in this sport ever. And he knows, and I looked it up, and I said, man, there's a gauntlet of killers in here. And if you look at the fight starting with March 10th, Usman fighting Benson, Shabli versus Masayev, and then we go to A.J. McKee fighting Pitbull, and Barnaway fighting Brent Primus. And that is a tremendous lineup, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's going to be a great year for us. I think that we've been on a roll. We've been putting out some great fights all over the world, and we're going to continue doing it. I think this is the best roster we've ever had. And if you look at the 205-pound weight class, I think we have the best fighter in the world. 185, we have the best fighter in the world. 170, we have the best fighter in the world. We could fight anybody, any of those, and even the lighter weights. I think 45, I think 55. That whoever wins this tournament, to me, would be the best lightweight in the world. I mean, that's how I feel, and to be able to say that after 5-6 years of building this roster, it feels really good because these guys are exceptional athletes. And when I first came here, it wasn't like that. This was not the Bellator it is today. It was a very small organization, small show, and it's come a long way. And now we're on a good roll.
Last one for me, Scott. You're going to Paris in May.
Yes, thanks.
And I think that's one of the best European cards that you've ever put on. Gegard and Fabian Edwards. That's a lightweight tournament fight as well.
Yeah.
How excited was it for you to put that together and bring that to Europe and a beautiful city like Paris?
Yeah, and my family and I, we love Paris and we love being in Europe. We love Dublin. We love traveling and putting on these great fights. But to have Gegard fight, close to his home, not too far away, against Edwards, who's another guy that's very talented, and Barnaway fighting Brent Primus in a tournament match. So we're going to wait, to have that match, and it's going to be one of the tournaments. So whoever wins the Usman Nurmagomedov fight against Benson Henderson will fight the winner of Barnaway fighting Primus. So that second fight, whoever it is going to be amazing. And on the other side, this bracket, and that's why these guys get paid well all year long. They get their regular pay. And then we give them $1 million bonus on top of that. And the reason why is because it's such a gauntlet of great athletes. And this is a very tough tournament. This is probably our toughest tournament we've put together so far. Thanks. Thank you, guys.